In this video, I'm going to look at a few different ways of drawing diagrams and compare them, so you can decide which one is best for you. I've talked about Mermaid before. I'll recap what you can do with Mermaid in this video, but I'll look at two other diagram drawing tools as well, PlantUML and a new kid on the block, HackerDraw. The opinions in this video are completely mine. This is not a sponsored video. I've not been paid by any of these tools, nor did the makers of these tools see this video before I published it. I did get free access to the full version of HackerDraw for the purpose of this review. Now, drawing diagrams definitely helps clarify the design of your software, but there are more things to think about when you create a new piece of software. I've written a free guide to help you with this. It's available at ArjanCodes.com/design guide, and it contains the 7 steps I take whenever I design new software. If you enter your email address on the website, you'll get the guide in your inbox right away. ArjanCodes.com/design guide. The link is also in the description of this video. I want to start with Mermaid. I'm going to put the links to all of these tools in the description of the video, by the way, so they're easy for you to find. Mermaid is really easy to set up, especially if you're using VS Code. You simply need to install the Markdown Preview Mermaid plugin, and then you can use Mermaid in your Markdown files, which is really easy. For example, here I've included a Mermaid sequence diagram. I can show you a preview of what this looks like. So here I have my Markdown file with the Mermaid code, and it generates this diagram on the fly. So if I change things here, for example, I remove the auto numbering, then the numbers disappear. I can basically change the text here, and it's going to immediately update the diagram for me. So really easy. This all runs locally on your machine. You don't need an internet connection or anything. So Mermaid definitely wins in terms of how easy it is to set up. So in this case, you see that Mermaid integrates with Markdown in VS Code, but it also integrates with GitHub. So if you publish a repository on GitHub and you put a Markdown file in there, you can use Mermaid exactly like I'm doing here, and it's going to render it nicely on the website. In terms of possibilities, Mermaid is pretty extensive. It has flowcharts, it has all kinds of different diagrams like sequence diagrams, class diagrams, state diagrams, entity relationship diagrams, even Gantt charts and pie charts. There's even a live editor of Mermaid. This is what you're seeing here, where you can create your diagram. You can change the text here, and it's going to update the diagram on the fly, and then you can export it as PNG or as VG file, or take the link and embed it into another Markdown file if you would like to do that. And they even have different themes like dark, light, corporate for the really corporate people, and more. So that's Mermaid. Mermaid also has some cons. So first, you have a lot of diagrams, but each of the diagrams types has not that many different configuration settings. You pretty much have to use what Mermaid provides you with, especially if you compare it to something like PlantUML, which has way more settings. Another thing is you have some control of the layout of the diagram, but that's also pretty limited. You can indicate that a diagram should be drawn from top to down, left to right. You can't easily modify where boxes and arrows are going to be rendered. So that's a disadvantage. If you use a regular drawing tool, of course, you have way more control over this. And finally, I find the syntax not always that easy to remember. For example, if you look at the entity relationship diagram, you have all these different weird arrow types that I always forget how to write them. And this might be a common UML structure, so it's maybe not really Mermaid's fault, but it's still pretty hard to remember this. And they have different syntaxes for different arrow types in different diagrams. For example, in a flowchart, this is the standard way we define an arrow. But if you go to a class diagram, then arrows actually look different. So then an arrow looks, for example, like this, because then it's inheritance. And then if we go to a state diagram, we have this arrow again. If we go to the sequence diagram, so here are also arrows, then you need to use 2 of these chevrons. So I feel the arrow syntax can be confusing sometimes. The second tool I want to take a look at for diagramming is PlantUML. Now, just like Mermaid, PlantUML also integrates with Markdown via a plugin. And in order to get that to work, you need to install the PlantUML plugin for VS Code. PlantUML is not supported by GitHub, so that won't work, but in VS Code you can write Markdown files, and then you can include PlantUML. So here you see an example of what that looks like. You write the 3 backticks and then PlantUML, and then you have StartUML. You put in your PlantUML definition, which looks a lot like how it's done in Mermaid, in particular for the entity relationship diagram, and we have an end UML to mark the end of the UML. Except when I run this, after installing the plugin, then this is what you're going to see. This is because PlantUML is a bit more complex to set up. It requires a server to create the PlantUML diagrams. So if you want this to work in VS Code, you have to go into your settings and then, well, I'm searching here for the PlantUML settings. And then when I scroll down, you have to select how you want to render your PlantUML diagrams. So default, this is local, but in order to use local, you need to set up Java and GraphViz, which I have not done on this computer. But what you can also do is send it to the PlantUML server. And when you select that, so you think, oh, now I'm done. But then actually, if you look at it, it still doesn't work because you have to supply the address of the server. So that's here. So we need to copy this URL and then paste that here so that we define, okay, this is the server that we want to use to render our diagrams for us. And now when I go back to the example, and let me close this file, and now I'm going to reopen it, and now it's going to generate the diagram for us. As you see, it doesn't keep track of dark mode. Maybe that's a setting you can change somewhere, but the server doesn't know that I'm running VS Code in dark mode, so it just returns a white image. Since this actually renders as an image, it's going to have a limited resolution, whereas with Mermaid, it's actually going to render this as text. You see, you can actually select this text, so that's a bit nicer. So this is the website of PlantUML. It's filled with ads, which I don't really like. But as you can see, we have also here different types of diagrams. For example, I have the class diagram, and as you can see already here, we have lots of different options that you can abstract class. You can include these little circles to indicate things. You have different types of relationships. You can customize a lot of things on class types. You can put labels on relationships. Many of these things you can also do with Mermaid, but PlantUML really goes a lot further in the options that you have. And then there's other types of diagrams. You have use case diagrams, activity diagrams, state diagrams. We have also different types of non-UML diagrams, which is nice. Like, for example, I like this JSON data visualization. So you have your JSON data and then it's going to render this, which I think is pretty cool. You can do the same thing with YAML data. There's other things like network diagrams, Gantt diagrams, mind map, mathematics, even though Markdown also often already includes mathematics. So really lots and lots of different features, and that's really nice about PlantUML. Another reason why PlantUML is nice is because it already exists for a long time. And that means that the language and the tools are now pretty stable and pretty standard. So of the tools that I'm looking at today, PlantUML is by far the most flexible. It's not even close. PlantUML also has cons. So one is that you need to dive into the settings in order to get this to work. It's not plug and play after you install the plugin. In order to get this to work, you need to specify the PlantUML server or install it locally. So if you don't have Java and GraphViz installed, then it might not work. Another thing is that you have those things installed. It might not be the right version, so PlantUML might not work. I don't know. If you do use the PlantUML server, well, then you're sending all your data over the internet to PlantUML. That might not be a problem for you, but it does mean that if there is no internet connection or if the PlantUML server is down, no diagrams for you. And finally, not really a con, but I think the website looks really old-fashioned. It's also filled with ads, so that makes it really hard to navigate. The final tool I want to look at today is HackerDraw. That's hackerdraw.com, and this is a new kit on the blog, but I think it's nice to also include it because it's a bit different than the other two. So what HackerDraw does is it allows you to create different types of diagrams. Some of those diagrams you use text, like with Mermaid and PlantUML, but they also have a generic drawing tool that's actually really easy to use. For example, this is what it looks like. It's a web-based system, so I can create a couple of basic shapes here, which is really easy. Add some text. You can do things like change the font size, font family, so the interface is really simple. And let me create another thing here, and then adding arrows is actually also really easy. So there we go. And now if you move this block around, for example, then the arrow moves along with it. And they have some other options like how sloppy do you want this arrow to be? So now it looks like a big mess, or you could make it like a cleaner looking arrow. That's all up to you. So I find this drawing tool actually really nice. It's really easy to use. They have a zooming option, which is really useful. And once you've created your diagram, you can actually embed it in different places, like in Notion. And they also have an integration with Confluence, so you can incorporate your diagrams directly in there. So I feel this is a good alternative to a tool like Draw.io, which I find pretty complicated to use. It has way too many different arrow and block types, so it's quite confusing. If you just want to quickly draw something, I think this is pretty nice. Now, next to this drawing type, they also have other types. For example, here I have the exact same sequence diagram that I showed you before with Mermaid and PlantUML. So also here you can change things on the fly, and then it's going to update the diagram on the right. Another tool that I like quite a lot in HackerDraw is their database schema tool, which is what you see here. So on the left, you can define your tables. So we have users, subscriptions, plans, invoices, and then we have, well, basically the foreign keys, the relationships between these tables. And this is the visualization that you see. So you can move these things around and organize that a bit. And also this you can, again, integrate into tools like Notion and Confluence. I find this a bit easier to use than the entity relationship diagrams in Mermaid and PlantUML. It's pretty simple to set up. So I think this is a great way of writing out your data structures before you start creating the database tables. I prefer this database schema tool over Mermaid's entity relationship diagram because I don't have to remember all the weird arrow syntaxes. So I like that. HackerDraw also has some cons. One is that they have quite a limited type of diagrams. At the moment they have only 4. So you can create a drawing like I showed you in the beginning. You can create a sequence diagram, a database schema, and a markdown mind map. Other diagrams they don't support at the moment, but as you understand, they are working on adding more types of diagrams to the tool. Another disadvantage is that it doesn't directly integrate with VS Code like Mermaid or PlantUML, although PlantUML also doesn't really directly integrate. You have to do some work for it. I think that would be nice if there was an integration, so you wouldn't need to use the web interface next to your VS Code. A way around this is that VS Code can actually open a browser window, and then in that browser window you could open HackerDraw and then you can edit your diagrams there. But I do notice that the browser window in VS Code doesn't always seem very stable and you can't really interact with it in other ways. Final con is that it's still a bit rough. There's still some bugs that I found while I was reviewing the tool, but I reported these bugs to the HackerDraw team and most of them have actually already been resolved. So the team is really active in further developing this tool. So what's the bottom line? Well, if you're looking for an easy to use diagramming tool that integrates with VS Code and Markdown, including on GitHub, then Mermaid is a great way to go. Personally, that's the tool that I'm going to be using for the time being because it suits my needs. It does exactly what I want it to do. If you need a more extensive diagramming tool with lots of control that still integrates into VS Code and you don't mind either sending the data of your diagrams to PlantUML server or setting it up locally on your machine, then PlantUML is also a great tool to use. In fact, PlantUML is going to be the most complete diagramming tool that you're going to find. Finally, if you have limited diagramming needs, but you do need to integrate with tools like Notion or Confluence, if you like to try out something new and have a really easy drawing tool available to you, give HackerDraw a spin. I hope this comparison was helpful to you. If you want to know more about Mermaid as a diagramming tool specifically and learn the 4 most important diagram types I use when I design software, check out this video. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you soon.